So tonight I've got a very special group of people on the panel tonight. We have some current basketball players and some former basketball players, but nonetheless, a group of people that are passionate about basketball. So if you're a basketball fan, this segment is for you. But before we get into it, you know how we do. If you have your favorite libation, raise them up, and we're about to get into it. Straight No Chaser. Salute, gentlemen. Which, by the way, I'm so impressed with the young guys, even though they're of age to drink, that they chose to drink water. So kudos to them. Way to take care of your bodies, guys. So the first thing I want to talk about, the NBA is coming back. End of July 31st is the scheduled return date for the NBA. They've got a new format they're introducing where they're going to allow 22 teams to compete and play for playoff spots. Basically, you're looking at, let's call it what it is. They wanted to make sure they had marquee players like Zion Williamson available. You wanted to make sure you had guys like Ja Morant because these guys are exciting. They're ushering the new era of basketball in the NBA. But it's going to look and feel a little different because in Orlando, they're only allowing a certain number of players and a certain number of family members, as well as team members and executives. No fans. So this will look and feel different. Let me ask you a question. I'm going to start with Ken, and then I'm going to go Julian, Jay, and then Francois. Big Ken, let me ask you, are you excited for the return of basketball, and what will that look and feel like for you with no fans in the stands?
Man, Stan, I'm kind of torn. It's gonna give me something to do, something to watch. But I don't know about the no fans thing. I mean, I hope they mic up the players. Now, what I heard is they're gonna punch in this sound from 2K,
Really?
crowd noise from the two. I heard that today on the NBA website that they're gonna funnel in crowd noise from a 2K game.
Oh.
to give it some kind of sound so you just don't hear. I'd have rather just heard balls bouncing and mic up the play.
Interesting. Mic up the play. Yeah, you know what? You hear that, and I think it's selective in terms of what they put out there as far as the content, but they do have players mic'd up. But I think that's interesting. Julian, what do you thought?
I'm gonna be okay with it. I'm gonna be okay. Okay with the 5-team play-in where you get the one. So you got the 5 teams and one of them get into the last playoff slot.
Gotcha.
I'm pulling for Portland.
Pulling for Portland.
Okay.
Wait, and why is that?
I need my man Melo in the playoffs.
Oh, you're one of those guys. All right. Got a Melo guy. What about you, Julian?
I think, honestly, with the lack of fans, and lack of people in the arena, I don't even think we'll need them to be mic'd up at all. I think we'll be able to hear some of the things that we wouldn't be able to hear during the game, originally. But I don't know. It'll be different atmosphere. I think it's good to have it back. Obviously, good to see sports doing this thing again. I think we'll be able to see a lot of the competition a little bit up close, see exactly what's really going on between each player. But I think it's something we just gotta wait and see. It's a waiting game. I really can't imagine it. Honestly, only thing I can think of is a practice. How things can get during practice, but I don't know. We just gotta see, honestly.
Okay. What about you? Jay?
For me, I'm excited. I don't really care what facet we get it in. I just need some basketball in my life at this point. I'm tired of watching film. I need something live. As far as the no fans, it kind of gives you that the Orlando Summer League feel, where it's just quiet, like you hear the sneakers, But I feel like we could have figured out something because even WWE's came back and they got like 30 people in the stands cheering. It's weird, but you get that energy, you get that like sense of feel. Like I feel like we could have figured out something to put at least 15 people in the stands.
Okay. I think it's a great point that you brought up, kind of like. That it's awkward, it's weird. It's like that Orlando Summer League type of feel where it's people there, but not really there. They really don't have an impact on the game because we've all played, and that for people that are, especially if you're on your home court, people feed off of that energy. People feed off the reactions. Someone like me, I was motivated by the boos. I prefer to play on the road. I was motivated by being booed and maybe point out one or two guys you can talk a little trash to and get it going. So it's definitely gonna feel different. Big Frenchie, how about you?
It depends on how they set it up. I'm ready for it to come back. The playoff run will be interesting. I think, like you guys already alluded to, that Orlando Summer League feel. And I'm with Ken. I'd rather just hear the ball bouncing and the squeaking shoes. If the ball playing is good, the ball playing is good. So you could kind of just get lost into that without all the distractions. So as long as they come back and hoop, I'm good with it.
See, it's got that controlled scrimmage feel, where sometimes I know, like, for example, we would scrimmage against other JUCOs when I was playing JUCO. Not scrimmage, but, we'd have practices against them and things like that, kind of like tune-ups. Or like when I played, we played Olive Harvey Jamboree, places like that where it's like, okay, you know what, there's not a lot of people. But, to that point, I do think, and I do like the level of intimacy that it can bring. You feel like you're right there. So now you get to hear more of the up-close trash talking. Now you get to hear the plays being called out. Now you get to hear, some of the stuff that would normally be drowned out by the crowd noise or by the TV, things like that. So I think it'd be interesting.
What you might end up seeing is you might end up seeing some players that don't really perform well in front of crowds, or they may still even be a little nervous. You might see them even play better now. And I think that might be a different thing. So, how they say practice players are.
And I think you hit it on the head because, when you're looking at, some of those guys, normally, on the road or when the moment is big for the intensity that's created with the crowd, you see some of those guys kind of retreat into a shell. But for this type of setting, and it's on a neutral floor, it adds a different element of surprise to the conversation.